And today our message is love as a daily commitment. And Jan has really set the foundation by gifting us with that beautiful Ho'oponopono prayer, chant, and meditation. And I love, Jan, that you invited us to say it in whatever order we wanted to say it in. And I tried it in a multitude of orders. Anyone else do that? I just started with thank you first, and I started with I love you, like the different variations. And I felt a difference. It was like a wave being on the ocean carrying me every time I said it in a different way. So that was really powerful for me. So thank you, Jan, so much for that meditation and opening prayer. Our companion book this month has been The Endless Practice by Mark Nepo. You know, he's one of my favorite authors. And I want to share a quote that he shares of a therapist named Barbara Thompson. Letting go of what gets in the way of loving is a practice all by itself. Letting go of what gets in the way of loving is a practice all of itself. So in our teachings, we say that all prayers are answered. And sometimes what shows up as the answer is what is in the way of our receiving what we prayed for. Anyone ever had that experience? You prayed for this thing specifically, and instead this other thing shows up. Yes, Chaplain Levi, and you're like, wait a minute, did you not understand my prayer? What is this? Right? What is this? It may be what's in the way of what it is that you prayed for. It may be unforgiveness. It may be anger. It may be fear. It may be a whole host of things, right? So what is in the way of you being the love that you are? Is it unforgiveness? And now Jan has reminded us of a powerful prayer that we can chant and say to ourselves to help us to shift and heal unforgiveness. Is it old wounds? Is it some kind of attachment that you have to something being or looking a certain way? Is it judgments? Is it fear? Is it resistance? What is in the way of you being the love that you are? So because this path is not about adding something new to ourselves, it is about gently releasing the blocks to our awareness of the fact that we are already whole. We are already whole. There is nothing missing. Imagine God saying, okay, let me make Roxanne, but I think I'm going to leave out this little piece right here. Right? God don't do that. So we have everything that we need within us, right? To be the love that we are. And so this had me thinking about our world today. When we look around, we see division, we see conflict, we see fear, we see uncertainty, we see foolishness. I'm just going to call it that because I don't want to curse. But we see all the stuff, right? We see the way that people are turning against one another. But what if all of this, even all of that, is not the absence of love, but the revelation of what is in the way of love? What if it's all an opportunity for us to get clear that we are love itself, and all of this foolishness is in the way of that love, and that we get to show up as the practice of being love itself? Because love is a daily commitment. It's not when we feel like it. It's not when everything is rosy and rainbows. It's a daily practice. me tell y'all, let me whisper a little bit so Marco don't hear me. We've been married for 24 years tomorrow, together for 28. Love is a daily commitment. It's a choice that we get to make. Sometimes I don't like him. I remember an interview that Michelle Obama gave, and she was talking about how everybody was like hashtag relationship goals, right? About her and Barack Obama. And she shared that for 10 years, she couldn't stand him, but she had a commitment to love. So, what is in the way? The world is giving us so many examples and so many opportunities to show up as love itself. Mark Nepo writes in a chapter, and I love the title of this particular chapter. It's called Little by Little. Little by Little. And this is what he says. As sticks were rubbed prehistorically to start fires, the rubbing of our humanity against the daily sparks the spiritual. As sticks were rubbed prehistorically to start fires, the rubbing of our humanity against the daily sparks the spiritual. So what is the daily? What is the daily? The daily is life. The daily is life. The Tao Te Ching says the 10,000 things, right? It's the ups, the downs, the peaks, the valleys, the tensions, the differences. It's all of the things. And here's what I invite us to see. The rub is not the problem. The rub is the practice. It is the practice of being love itself. The rub, Mark says, sparks the spiritual. Just like the rubbing of sticks together sparks the fire. And we are the spark. We are the spark. So we get to rub love in the daily, right? We get to be the light that sparks the transformation that we are desiring right here and right now. The rub lights a fire under us to be love itself. So the discomfort, because it ain't comfortable all the time, the discomfort, the friction, the moments that stretch us are here because love is being called forth. Where? Through us. Through us. Mark goes on to write this. I think the purpose of the human experience is for the soul to blossom in human form here on earth, little by little, the way the 100th drop of water opens a seed. The rub of what is human against the days releases what is divine. So this rubbing releases the divine within us. This friction is an opportunity for us to release more fully that which we already are. Remember, nothing is missing. Nothing is missing. So this rubbing that Mark refers to is our path of transformation. It is a daily commitment to love. And Ernest Holmes speaks to it this way in the Science of Mind text on page 460. He writes, God is love and God is law. The love of God is omnipresent and the law of God is omnipresent. The love of God is the divine givingness, the eternal outpouring of spirit through its creation. eternal outpouring of spirit through its creation. So, what does that mean? It means that you are love, that God poured love into, through you, and is you. You are love. Omnipresent love. It means that it is always available to you. It is eternal. God doesn't shut the love off based on our foolishness. He keeps pouring it. It keeps pouring it. She keeps pouring it. They keep pouring it. It doesn't end. It keeps flowing. We are the one that turns off the socket through our judgment, through our division, through our unforgiveness, through our desire. And this is a big one for me, to make people wrong. So we have a choice. We have a choice as to what we will commit to. Will you commit to love? Will you rub love in those places where love seems to be missing? Love is a daily commitment to practice being who you already are. Your divine identity is love. I remember I was in the hospital getting ready to have surgery years ago, and they asked me what my religion was. And I said, my religion is love. And they said, oh, so you're a Christian? I said, whatever, whatever. Because I wasn't going to go down that road because I'm getting ready to have surgery, y'all. So just write down love, right? So let me ask you something. Raise your hand if it's hard for you to find what gets in the way of love in the world today. I see a couple of hands raised. So it's hard for you to find what gets in the way of love today. You're having difficulty finding what gets in the way of love today. Would anyone unmute and just share about that?
Sometimes,
Rox.
Rev, it is difficult because I don't always know to call a thing a thing. So
Mm,
I can be very confused. I think it's one thing, but really, it's a different fear that I may be experiencing. But I will
mm,
project it off onto you as it's you and your attitude that's getting in the way of the love, but it's
mm,
not my own unforgiveness, or it's my fear of rejection, or like I'm the one that's getting in the way, but I
mm.
can't automatically go there. So it can take me a minute sometimes to get honest about what's really in the way, because I want to say it's you when it's really me. So
Oh,
that's
yes.
why.
Tell the truth, Roxanne. Anyone can relate to that? I know I can. It's me. It's me. I'm the one that gets in the way of love. I'm the one. So it's about being responsible, right? Self responsibility. We see what it looks like when people refuse to take responsibility for their consciousness, for their healing. We see what happens, the outpicturing of that. Yes? So remember, we are rubbing love. So if we are in the way sometimes, then we need to rub some love on ourselves, right? The daily practice of self love, of self trust, of stopping beating ourselves up, even in those moments, Roxanne, when we're like, no, it's them. They did all this. Even in those moments, the omnipresence of love that God poured into us is still present. And we get to take a moment to recognize that again and again and again. That's why it's a practice, right? Because love is a way of being. It's a way of showing up. It's a way of seeing the world through the lens of love. So I want to be clear again that choosing love does not mean we ignore injustice. Choosing love does not mean that we stay silent in the face of harm. Love is not passive. Love is not weak. Love is powerful, the most powerful force in the universe. Love is fierce. Love speaks. Love says, don't play with me. You don't want this smoke. That's what my love be saying. Don't play with me. You don't want this smoke. Love stands. Love acts. But it does so without losing its center. We stay centered in God, in source, in the higher power. We stay centered and grounded and rooted in that. Because without becoming, we don't want to become the very thing that's in the way. And sometimes we can lose ourselves and go there. And then what do? We gather ourselves. We recenter ourselves. We take a moment to breathe. We may say the forgiveness prayer. Whatever it is we need to do, right? To bless ourselves again. That's what we do. Because love is a daily commitment. Love dissolves delusion. Love reveals the truth. So the question is not, is there love in the world? The question is, will you be the one who brings it, that represents it? Will you be the one to embody it? Will you be the one to be love itself? And I'm not talking about in the by and by. I'm talking about right here, right now. And no, it's not easy sometimes. And no, not everyone will agree with love. But the time is now, in this moment, in this life, as a daily commitment to be love. Now is the time to rub someone the love way. Let's rub someone the love way. We say, oh, they rubbed me the wrong way. And and there we go off and running. But what if we rub someone the love way? That would transform everything. So here's your love work. And I usually give your love work for the week or for the month, but this love work is for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. I invite you to practice these two things. Before responding or reacting, because many of us react, we don't respond. Before responding to a difficult or challenging situation or person, pause. Just take a beat. 3 seconds. Pause. Say nothing. Pause. Take 3 deep, conscious breaths. And ask yourself, what would love do or say here and now? And love may say nothing. Say nothing. What would love look like in action in this situation with this person at this time? What does that look like? What does love look like in action? Remember, love is not passive. Love is action. And again, Love may say, be love. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just be love. So that's one. Remember, the rest of your life is two. Recommit to your daily spiritual practice. Recommit to it, to center yourself in the love that you are. It is so important that we gift ourselves with our spiritual practice. Practicing being with ourselves, with our higher source. However way that is for you. What I do as part of my daily practice is I read something inspirational. I do inspirational journaling. It might be based on what I read. It might be asking for guidance. I pray and I practice transcendental meditation. And sometimes throughout the day, I might have an affirmation that I just ground myself in throughout the day. Your practice could be conscious breath throughout the day, but choose something that you can make a daily commitment to doing every day. I'll share quickly that transcendental meditation has transformed, has been one of the vehicles that has transformed the way I interact with Marco. Remember, 24 years, y'all. It has helped me to be more aware of the thoughts that come up that are judging towards him. And instead of saying it, because I got great pleasure out of saying it, I'm telling the truth, y'all. I pause and I don't say it. I might write it down and rip it up. I get it out of my body. So whatever your daily practice is, make the commitment to it. It will help you with the dailies. Yes? All right. So those are the two things, just those two things for the rest of your life. What would love do or say here? What is love in action? And recommitting to your daily spiritual practice to support yourself in being grounded in the love that you are. So remember that love is not a feeling we are waiting for. It is a commitment we practice. And those of you who watch me on my podcast, Morning Sip, know that I say every single time what practice is and what practice does. Practice makes progress. It may not be perfect, but it makes progress. So let's practice and be love. Be love. Be love. Be love. Let our minds be love. Let our hands be love. Let our hearts be love. Be love, be love. That's the charge today, y'all. To be love in the daily. In the daily. Go rub up against somebody and love them. Yes? Yes, 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 yes. All right.